Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. On today's episode, today's a really special episode. If you guys are rewatching the trial with me, you know why. Because we're gonna have the witness, the inspector that did the whole investigation of the car, to see if there was anything wrong with the car. So we're gonna get to it. But first, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to give it a like and post a comment. I read all the comments. I've been really busy in this time of year, so I haven't been able to respond to all the comments that I want to respond, but be sure that I'm going to go back and read them and respond to them. So without that, let's just go right into the video.
Yeah, why don't you grab that exhibit and take it?
And you guys told me in the comments what slick means. Thank you. It was what I was thinking, but thank you for that.
My current position is the mechanical inspector for the Wisconsin State Patrol Technical Reconstruction Unit.
Can you describe the duties of that position?
Duties.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
My job basically is to conduct thorough and systematic inspections of vehicles that have been involved in crashes.
Did you receive any training in order to perform those duties?
Objection, relevancy.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Can you briefly describe that training for the jury?
Objection, relevancy.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
All of these objections has been to relevancy. It's relevant what he does. He's the expert that the state is bringing to testify.
Prior to this, I was a diesel mechanic, and in addition to that, I have ASE and SAE certifications.
And not being in, having any interest in cars, what are those certifications?
Objection, leading.
On December 6, 2021, were you directed to go to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab to view a vehicle?
Objection, leading.
Overrule, the witness may answer. It's foundational.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
What information did you have prior to going to that location?
Objection, speculative.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
The information that I was given is that I was to set up an appointment there to look at a Ford Escape that had been involved in a crash in the parade in Waukesha.
Did you do a mechanical inspection of the vehicle that you were sent to look at?
Objection, leading.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
Yes, I did.
Did that report containing the findings of your mechanical inspection from December 6th?
Objection, leading.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
Yes.
I provided to you prior to you going up on the stand what's been marked as State's Exhibit 83. Can you briefly identify it for how it's labeled, how many pages it consists of?
What exhibit is that?
Exhibit 83.
It's the Crash Reconstruction Mechanical Inspection Report.
The whole report is exhibit 83?
Correct.
Yes.
The whole report?
Go ahead. I haven't ruled on it.
He hates that the whole report is an exhibit because he has to read that report. So if it's like, if it's long, he's like, oh no, I have to stall more with more objections.
Yeah, so go ahead and ask your questions, Attorney Daisy.
You know he hasn't read that one word of that report. And it's a really important report to have because it's about the vehicle.
Sir, how many pages does this report consist of?
10.
And that is front and back sides?
Correct.
Objection.
Oh, so that's gonna be a lot. That's 20 pages. Well, 20 pages that he has to read in, I don't know, 10 minutes that the prosecution is gonna be asking questions. So let's see if he does it.
What car were you inspecting?
Objection, leading.
Overrule, the witness may answer.
2010 Ford Escape.
And what color was it?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, you may answer.
The vehicle identification number on Exhibit 83, where did that information come from?
I always use the one inside the door jamb of the vehicle first, take note of it, and then cross-reference it with the public VIN on the vehicle to make sure that they both match.
And did they in this case?
Objection. I have the 10 pages and nowhere on here does it say it's an exhibit. Nowhere on here.
That's because it was marked for purposes of trial. It has an exhibit sticker now. So your objection's noted, it's overruled, and the
Why am I
witness,
not privy to the same?
the witness may answer the question. It's
What?
been marked as an exhibit.
And is there a picture on the front of Exhibit 83?
Yes,
Objection leading.
Overruled.
And what is that picture of
it's a picture of the 2010 Escape.
that you did the mechanical inspection on?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes,
Is the information contained within this report accurate?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
yes, it is.
I would move State's Exhibit 83 into evidence.
Yeah.
Objection.
To
Your
what?
objections noted. It is overruled. Exhibit 83 is received.
He's like, objection. This is evidence against me.
So
Sir,
is my
sir.
paperwork ever gonna say Exhibit 83, or is it just gonna be this?
Mr. Brooks, I'll take that up outside the presence of the jury later, but we're going to continue.
It
Go
was brought
ahead.
up in front of the jury.
Mr. Brooks, we're going to continue with the questioning of this witness.
What is y'all trying to pull here?
Mr. Brooks, please.
This is
No one's,
no
the,
please, nothing.
the exhibit, to my understanding, has previously been provided to you. You have it. It's now been marked as an exhibit for trial
Y'all got
purposes.
something I don't have though.
You have it. You literally.
Go ahead.
He's saying that he didn't have the report. He just pulled it up. What?
It's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be fair.
You had it.
Attorney Basie, I trust that this was previously turned over.
Yes.
It was, and I believe the defendant has a copy of it in front of him.
Thank
And
you.
where does it
Please
say
continue.
Exhibit 83? It doesn't say that this was going
Again,
to be
we'll take
used
this
as
up
an
outside the
exhibit.
presence of the jury later. It's not something we need to do right now. Go ahead, ask your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I would object and move to strike from the record any commentary that the defendant was making in the last 5 minutes.
Yes, please.
What was that?
Court will strike the commentary that was made. I'm not sure if it was picked up or not.
So the first section of your report, and I'm just going to direct your attention to page 3 of Exhibit 83, talks about the tires and the suspension and tie rods. Do you see that?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes,
And can you describe for the jury what part of the inspection, describe this part of the inspection?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer. The report's been received by the court, and the state may direct the witness to various points at its discretion.
When was it made an exhibit? Because I wasn't aware of that.
Sir, can you describe the information contained in the first section of the report under the heading Tires, Wheels, Steering, Suspension, Brakes?
Objection leading.
Every time there's a long question that's like really specific to what they want to know, it's like leading. That's not how it works. Like saying, is that if I say the picture on the report has a red car, that's leading because you're telling him what to say. But if you ask him what does he know, that's not leading.
Overruled.
there was a little bit of play in the tie rod. Still attached, still intact, still functioning, still able to steer the vehicle, but just worn to the point that it needed replacement before it got any worse.
Was that something that would create any problems in operating the car, for example, on November 21st, 2021?
Objection speculative.
Overruled. This witness may answer. He's
Um,
hold on. He's been qualified under 907-02. I direct your attention to 907-02 through 907-07, Mr. Brooks. Go ahead.
I don't consent to being called that name, and that's referring to a specific date. How do we know that's not speculation?
The objections noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
It would not,
Nothing that he's going to say is a speculation because he's an expert. That kind of throws that out the window.
The vehicle would still steer and drive just the same as any other vehicle. It would just have play in the steering wheel, and it would make a little bit of a clunking noise potentially when you turn the wheel. You would maybe hear a clunking noise from that left front tie rod.
If I didn't ask you this, the information you were provided was that this vehicle was involved in a crash?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled, given the nature of the testimony being provided. The state may clarify that. So go ahead, you may answer.
Yes.
And do you know the date of that crash?
I know it was in November. I don't know the exact date.
Okay, thank you. So with regards to the braking system, was there anything, did you find anything at all in your inspection of that vehicle that would have caused the brakes not to work or not to work effectively on the date of the crash or prior to the crash?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, I did not.
Actually, since your inspection took place after the crash, would that be your same answer with regard to, as it was on December 6, 2021, there were no brake problems?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
That is correct. The brakes still functioned at the time of inspection fully.
And the curb weight, what is that? I mean, generally, what is it now?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
If someone had reported hearing a clicking sound while this car was driving in front of them, was there anything that you found in your report that would be consistent with a clicking sound being heard?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
It would be impossible to say if there would be a clicking noise from this vehicle. I was actually not able to drive it physically to test it. I was only able to just start it.
Can I ask why you were unable to drive it?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
There's actually two reasons I was unable to drive it. One, again, with DNA evidence on the exterior of the vehicle. Two, there wasn't enough gas in the vehicle to move it.
Okay.
So he didn't have gas, so even if he stayed on the car, he wouldn't gone too far.
So the car was on empty when you observed it?
Objection, leading.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
How much gas was in the car when you inspected it?
Objection, leading. Asked and answered.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
There was, the gauge read E for empty.
When you turned the key, what observations, if any, did you make?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
I want to show you what's been previously admitted, Exhibit 73. It'll show on the screen in front of you, and I'd ask that it be published as well.
Objection, leading.
What is depicted in that photograph?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled, based on his training and experience, the witness may answer.
She's just asking, what is that? It doesn't matter. She's not asking if this from the car yet.
That it appears to be an exhaust muffler and a couple chunks of wood and overturned dirt.
The muffler that's observed in this picture, would that be consistent or inconsistent with a 2010 Ford Escape?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled, this witness may answer and provide an opinion. Go ahead.
By just looking at a picture.
Yeah.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yeah, y'all think y'all
You can cross-examine the witness about that, sir. Go
I'm
ahead.
got to. Y'all trying to pull a fast one.
It is a vehicle muffler. Without seeing the ends of it and where the inlet, outlet are, and actual measurements, it would be impossible to see what vehicle it came from, but it is an automotive muffler.
Do you check to see if there are any recalls of a vehicle in coming to your conclusion?
Objection, speculative. And do we still need this exhibit?
Thank you. We can take that down, and your objection's noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
This is what I mean. This question is the thing that is really important for later on in the trial.
I do check for recalls, yes.
Now, you talked about the brake system in terms of the brake pedal within the car and its that it was operating correctly. Do you recall that testimony?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. It's foundational. The witness may answer.
Yes, I do.
How do the brake pads, where are they located and how do they relate to the pressing down of a brake pedal.
Objection leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Are there any other components to the braking system in a car?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
There's a parking brake system in the vehicle.
But other than that, so you've covered every aspect of the braking system in this particular vehicle, is that correct?
Objection speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes, I have.
Did you observe anything at all that would have prohibited this vehicle from stopping if the brake pedal had been applied?
No.
Is there anything that you observed or documented with it during or in your mechanical inspection report that would have contributed to the crashes that this car was involved in?
Objection as an answer.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No.
Thank you.
Any cross-examination?
Yes, no?
During your inspection, did you see?
All right. I just want to break here. Okay, Darrell needs this witness. He needs to completely discredit this witness if he wants any chance to allege that he didn't mean to do this. Let's see how he does.
See any bullet holes?
What does bullet holes have anything to do with the car working? She didn't even ask about any bullet holes.
Yes, I did.
Do you recall where? Back up. Do you recall how many bullet holes you observed?
I do not recall a number of them. No, I knew there were more than one.
The ones that you observed, do you recall where they were?
I do believe one might have exited through either the windshield or rear window, and one was in the side of the vehicle, if I remember correctly.
And did you find any shell casings?
No, I did not.
You made reference to the left rear tire being bigger than the other tires.
Yes.
Can you give a little bit more clarity on how that would affect the vehicle?
So one larger tire on the vehicle would obviously make the vehicle lean ever so slightly away from whichever side is larger than the other. In this case, the amount of difference between the two tires, it's about 1.5 inches in difference in radius. So in radius, you get half of that amount in height. So it would be about 3/4 of an inch difference in height. That amount of difference is not noticeable in a vehicle. The other thing, each vehicle acts differently with different size tires on it. There's no one size fits all.
So different vehicles act differently to having a bigger fitting tire.
Yes.
You made reference to it to a vehicle leaning away from the side that's bigger.
Correct.
Would that in any way create a slight pull to the vehicle to either side?
In my experience, that small amount would not, no.
I don't remember exactly what you said referring to the high beams. I guess you made reference to them being used at some point.
The high beams were activated when I did my inspection, meaning that when the headlights are on, they were in high beam mode. The selector stick was pressed forward.
Why would a vehicle use high beams?
Usually a driver uses high beams to see better or to illuminate things better.
What is this question? Like, you were using high beams during the day, which is rude, by the way. Don't use high beams if you are on the road, like, normally. You're gonna blind other people.
So that would primarily refer to if it was nighttime?
Correct.
Would you say, with your expertise, it wouldn't make sense for a vehicle to use high beams in the daytime?
There are limited uses for them in the daytime, yes.
And what are some of the uses from your knowledge?
The high beams shine brighter, so even with sunlight shining on them, other vehicles can see them. It's a thing that we use on the highway as law enforcement sometimes. It's just a little bit of the thing to help oncoming vehicles see.
So it would essentially be for identification purposes.
No.
For visibility is what I mean, so that it stands out to the other traffic. It doesn't look like it belongs because the lights look very bright. It gets the other driver's attention, the same as the red and blue lights on the top of the cars.
Gets them to notice that law enforcement is present.
Correct.
That's what I meant by ID purpose, for them to be able to see. The ball joint and tire rod, is there a difference between the two?
Yes, the ball joint is the joint itself, and it's on the end of the tie rod.
Did you notice anything wrong with the tire rod? The actual tire rod, not the ball joint?
No, there was nothing wrong with the tie rod.
I think he's just asking these questions because he wants to know more about cars. Like, I don't see any relevance to these questions. I know a little bit about cars. I mean, I know the basics. I can change the oil, change a tire, change the brake pads, all that stuff. But I don't need to know all of this.
I'm assuming you still have the Exhibit 83.
Yes, sir.
It says, I noted a worn tie rod end on the left front wheel end. Was that in reference to the ball joint and not the tie rod?
Yes. They're one and the same. The tie rod end is a ball joint. It's two different ways to refer to the same component.
Okay, clarity. It doesn't say ball joint right here. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
And what is the high mount brake lamp?
The high mount brake lamp is on the back of the vehicle. You have the right brake light and turn signal, left brake light and turn signal, and then there's the third brake light that's like usually in the rear window or at the top of the back of the hatch of the vehicle. That's the high mount brake lamp.
Okay. And it was inoperable when you inspected it?
That's correct. Both of those were inoperable during inspection.
So they didn't work?
Correct.
So it'd be fair to say if someone was viewing the vehicle from behind, they would be able to see because those were inoperable.
Yes, at the time of inspection, those lights did not work.
But I think that was because of the crash. Because do you remember asking other witnesses that if they saw brake lights, and some of them say yeah. So what? Why are you debunking your arguments?
You also stated that it is unknown if they were working prior to the crash or damaged during the crash. That'd be fair to say?
That's correct.
That you would know either way.
No, I would not have a way to tell when that light bulb went out.
Examination that the right and high mount brake lamp were inoperable. Do you recall that?
Yes.
How about the left brake lamp? Was that operable or inoperable?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled, the witness may
It's
answer.
redirect.
The left stop lamp was working.
Now, sir, just going back again to this ball joint, you stated that, I guess, was your testimony and cross-examination that unless the ball and socket is separated, you can still safely operate that vehicle?
Objection. Mischaracterizes what was said.
Based on the form of the question, I'll allow the witness to answer.
Yes.
Does the engine control acceleration?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, it requires driver input.
Does the engine control braking?
No, it does not.
Does the engine control steering?
Objection. What is the relevancy?
It's
Overruled,
relevant.
the witness may answer.
No, it does not.
Does the engine control gear shifting?
Objection. Relevancy.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
It does not.
Actually, coolant or some type of water. I wasn't sure if you're talking about the water pump or the radiator. Do you know what was leaking, if anything?
Objection. Ask and answer during cross.
Overruled, the witness may answer. It's redirect.
Yes, so water pump, water coolant, it's all interchangeable as far as the cooling system for the engine goes. And the coolant system was low at the time of inspection and had been leaking, but from where, I do not know.
And again, does that control the steering,
No,
the braking,
no,
the acceleration?
no.
Finally, sir, you had talked about on cross-examination the presence of the high beams being on during the daylight. Do you recall that line of questioning?
Yes,
Specifically, you had indicated that sometimes the state patrol uses their high beams during the day. What was that for?
Objection. That was answered.
Overruled, the witness may answer. It's redirect.
to increase visibility.
Is that of any assistance if a vehicle is coming up behind people?
Objection. Speculative.
Based on his training and experience, I will allow him to answer.
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
All
All right, thank you.
The reason why she was, I love that he's mad. I just love that image. Him frustrated brightens up my day. But the reason why she was asking all those questions about the engine and if they control the steering and all of that was because, as you recall, some of the witnesses said that they thought that it could be something wrong with the vehicle. That they may be out of control, they may be out of brakes, they may... all of that. So she just established right there that there was nothing wrong with the vehicle. So let's see how he reacts to this witness.
You may step down.
Try more,
Thank you,
Brooks.
sir. And once the witness...
This is with the jury in there. Why are you laughing? Don't laugh. It's never a good fit.
I'll excuse the jury for an afternoon break. It's just about 3:06. We'll take about 15 minutes. I'll rise for the jury.
Hilarious.
You can be seated. Mr. Brooks, I know the last thing you said, I heard you say that's hilarious. What were you referring to?
I was referring to, like, are you serious? Some of the same things that I ask on
Cross.
when it's my time to question the witness can be overruled. But when the same thing is done and I object, it's nothing. It's just thrown. It's just thrown to the side. I just think that's funny.
Well,
I
sir,
really do.
I don't find it funny. The objection to not having an exhibit sticker on your report is not, would not prevent the court from receiving the exhibit. And for my position, there's direct examination, there's cross-examination. The state or any witness, any party that calls a witness always has the opportunity to ask the direct exam questions and then redirect based upon what's asked during cross-examination. Sometimes that does mean there's some repetition, but I didn't see anything through the redirect of this witness that I thought was improper. So I just wanted to make a record of that. I am going to caution you, sir.
Do you understand what I was saying?
You are...
We understand.
But you, during multiple times during the questioning of that witness, you were mumbling under your breath. You say disparaging remarks toward the court, toward the witness, or toward the process.
So if it was disparaging, what did I say?
You
Sir,
say,
you say things
yeah.
like it's not fair, or you make noises that suggest like you're disgusted with the ruling that is made.
So you're assuming what I mean by that, and when did I say
Mr.
it
Brooks,
wasn't
I'm
fair?
just making a record because
Yeah, but
it's
you're
important
making an
that
incorrect record.
it's important that you demonstrate courtesy and decorum through these proceedings, and that you give respect to the witnesses who are testifying in the process.
Did the witness feel disrespected? Did the witness say anything about feeling
That's not
disrespected?
the point.
I'm not going to engage in this
'Cause I don't think he
back
did.
and forth with you because, first of all, it's a mischaracterization of my observations, number one. And
Yeah,
number
but your
two, it's my
observations are
job-
incorrect.
It's
If
my
it-
job to ensure that under 906.11, that there's the effective presentation, and I'll just refer you to that once again. I'll read it into the record.
You don't need to read it.
Under
You don't need to
906.
read it. Just make sure that you make a correct
The judge shall exercise
record.
reasonable
Don't lie on the
control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and presenting evidence.
Very big of you, Brooks, to say don't lie on the record. You lie every time that you speak. You gaslight everyone. You change the meaning. He was asking did he say that it wasn't fair? He said that. He said that when he was reading the report and they said they didn't have the sticker. He forgets or something.
It's gonna
So as
get
to do
addressed
all of
every
the
time.
following: make the interrogation and presentation
Every time.
effective for the ascertainment of truth, and when leading questions may be used to develop the witness's testimony. So with that, we'll take our break. I'll start the 15 minutes. It's 3:13. We are in recess. Thank you.
Matter of fact, with one hand record.
Go ahead.
Okay. I did actually take note of when the court overruled one of Mr. Brooks' objections. His response
consent to being
was,
called that name,
"Stop
Your Honor."
trying to be slick."
Yeah, I did say that.
So,
All right.
just for the record, I thought that was very disrespectful.
Thank you. I would agree.
Judge, can we discuss scheduling at some point as well, either now or on the
When we
return?
come back.
Why wasn't that addressed right when it happened?
Honestly, Mr. Brooks, I'm really trying hard
Because
not to highlight
that's the
your
definition of trying to
misconduct
be slick.
during the trial.
Is slick the word of the day today? What? I never heard that word before, and now I'm hearing it every 5 minutes. Did he woke up in the morning and was like, I'm gonna say slick today the more that I can.
Trying my best here to
I don't see
frankly
that.
minimize
I don't
pointing
see
those
it.
things out to the jury and instead
I
pointing
don't
them
see
out outside the presence of the jury. You may have noticed I've even started to say I'd remind the jurors that the comments of the parties or the attorneys are not evidence, so as to cast a broad brush and not simply highlight your conduct.
I haven't noticed anything, and I don't
But all right, we're in
refer
recess.
to what
Thank you.
conduct
It's
you're referring
3:14.
to. If you're gonna be biased, then somebody. How late do we plan on going?
I will go.
All right, so all of that segment. He's saying that he doesn't see that, but he just told her. She just tell him what she's doing, and she's been doing it. So he cannot say that it's not happening.
As late as 6 o'clock if need be. So I want to keep pushing along. I want to.
Yeah, that's definitely pushing it here.
That's not that late, sir. We've stayed till 5:36.
I mean-
Previously, there were times during jury selection we stayed till probably 7 or 7:30.
In my
The last
position-
2 nights we did break at about 4:30, 4:45, and so I'm willing to go a little bit later tonight. So it's 3:30 now. We'll see how things go.
I was making that saying that on the record because in my position that is kind of late.
Well, let's start now.
Where
and
you
we'll
have to
get
go?
going, and maybe we don't have to
You
go.
have an
that late.
appointment?
So bring a jury out.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
The written decision that I previously entered is what I will stand on. I'm not going to address it any further.
Is that verified proof?
Sir, my written decision is the decision on
Is it-
subject matter
Is it
jurisdiction.
verified proof? Because it hasn't been proven on the record, and that was not verified proof. It has yet
I
to be
am
proven.
denying the request by the defendant to verify subject matter jurisdiction.
It
That's
has to be
denied.
proven for the record.
I disagree with you as a matter of law. The
Show
jury's
me-
coming
show me
out.
Lawful law.
All rise for the jury.
Show me by lawful law.
He doesn't have to show you anything.
unless you make an tacit agreement
Hack it.
that you don't have to prove subject matter jurisdiction on.
It's not a tacit agreement. She just said, literally, she just said that she doesn't have, she stands what she said. So, take it up with the appealing court.
Record by law.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Is there a set procedure you follow when?
Wait, okay. We're gonna come back tomorrow with the next witness. This is one of my favorite witnesses. Like, this is a DN. I think this has to do with something with what was found in the car, and he has no patience for Darrell Brooks. So tomorrow's episode is gonna be a fun one. You don't want to miss that. And I have a surprise for you tomorrow as well. Something that I did. All right. So turn on tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day. Bye bye.